Je m'appelle Perttu from Apocalyptica. This is of course the Rocknlive or something in France, the Paris Pearl of cities. Actually, this Wagner thing is totally separate production comparing to what we have usually done, and of course this year was the 200 years anniversary of Wagners Life, and there is this choreography ballet dancer dude in Germany called Gregor Seifert, and he wanted to do a long evening, like 100 minutes of Wagner's life in the form of a dancing. And he wanted to add Apocalyptica music in that, but actually we found out that the coolest thing is to participate in there as a performer, and that's how it turned out to be, that it's Apocalyptica combining Wagner to our own like new material. And it was an interesting show to do. We had 2 performances in August, something like this, or July, and it was in Leipzig Arena, and altogether there was like 250 people performing, because a big symphony orchestra, choir and dancers, acrobats, and lots of, only elephants were missing. But after we had those very exciting shows, we realized that this music is good enough to work also without the dance party, and therefore we wanted to release it for the fans as a CD. Great, actually. Of course, the challenges in creating and building up such a major production with so much people, it was challenging, and therefore we had to stay in Leipzig for 3 weeks to practice everything and go through. But in general, I would say that it was highly inspiring thing to do, and being part of something. And we were not like, there was no possibility to only think like what we would like to do, and I was suffering, of course, that I couldn't be in the central lights all the time. But it's fun. The dancing itself, I think it was quite interesting, like abstract feel of different moments of Wagner's life. And actually you can see from YouTube, there should be like clips of the show anyhow, which were broadcasted. I think so, a lot, because for me music is mentality, and music is state of mind, and for me metal music is a state of mind in that sense that it makes you feel strong, it makes you feel maybe even aggressive, it makes you feel also that you have a blink in an eye and you cry and everything like this, and all those elements you also can find in Wagner's music. And therefore I would say that it doesn't so much it's not question about what genres you are. If you want to feel happy, you listen to music that makes you happy, besides no matter what the music may be. I get to be happy when I listen to Muse or Mozart. No, actually the spring tour will be totally like old Apocalyptica, but actually we tried to find to set list some songs we never performed, like some very cool tracks which still has been like curiosity in our career. But of course the Wagner maybe there in one or two songs, but songs like Ural, you know, some B-sides. Really cool, but we are now planning, because in next June we will have 2 more of Wagner shows, and most likely it should be a DVD out of that one then. But yeah, now in spring there is the symphony orchestra, and actually I would love to record some of that as well, because at least I wrote one new song for the symphony orchestra and us, and who knows, maybe for the next album we would still have like a 1 track or 2 tracks with an orchestra. It could be very inspiring. Stormy Wagner was like 4th or 5th song of the show, and that's more about the moment of life when Wagner was still young and like feeling love, and actually it's full of sex in the show. Very erotic vibe in the dancing in that. And Fighting Against Monsters, that was in the part when he was doing actually the Ring of Nibelung, the major work of his career, and there were all the dragons and stuff like this. That was the Nibelung story, and then there was this 3rd song.
And the
Flying Dutchman, of course. Yeah, but it's my favorite opera of Wagner. I have always loved Flying Dutchman. It was actually funny to perform because they put us into some kind of like a boat which was moving around the stage, and it was very difficult to even stand in there because it was moving, jumping, and then trying to play in. But yeah, I always love wicked things and challenges, and this show really offered lots of them. Beethoven is definitely metal, and actually the same goes to Beethoven than with Wagner, that even many of nowadays bands riffs, and you can hear that the roots are in for example Beethoven's music, or Bach music as well. Of course the modern way of combining harmonies, and then everything has been done already in a classical era, but it's just like nowadays electric instruments that makes the biggest difference. But I still think that all the music has always been the same, and it's just a question that which part of it you pick for your own. Yeah, pretty soon, at least. Now we are already composing material. We plan to go on studio in April, May, and then the release should be 15 January, and after that we will start to continue normal touring. were just enough crazy guys with, you know, vision. And me and Eikka, we have known since we were like 10-year-old kids, so very long relation already, and we were studying in the same school and huge rock fans besides the classical, and that's why this idea just was that how would Metallica songs sound with cello, and would we find a funny way to perform them. And first concerts for Apocalyptica we played in our like school parties for friends, and really not considering even that it would someday be a profession. So it was purely experimental thing, but I have always thought that if you do something that you really like yourself, you cannot be the only one in the world. You are not the only person who feels the same, and that's exactly what happened with us. We loved this kind of music, and there is other people who loved it too, and that's why we got audience in the first place. And now it feels amazing being here, like after 17 years still existing and constantly touring and spreading this little side of like our own vision of how music could be. And Apocalyptica is a wonderful playground because we basically can do so many different things there. We are a rock band, but we are everything else. We can be very classical when we want to, even electric if we want to. And Wagner show one good example still that we can adapt some special parts of music history still to modernize it with our own way, and it works. So it's just makes it interesting to see what do we find out for the next moment. I do have, because France, I'm feeling very happy in here to see that this country has opened for us. For maybe the first 10 years it always felt like that we have difficulties to get even concerts in France, but now audience has found us. Probably I would say that it comes from the fact that German culture, you are very like interested and into culture and find music, and Apocalyptica is challenging enough, you know, to somehow there is something common in the mentality, and I love Paris. It's a wonderful place.